No, I don't think we're expecting his release, although that's certainly the objective of these mass protests, which are being organized for the 24th of November. Yesterday, Mr. Imran Khan was granted bail by the Islamabad High Court and told that all the cases against him under the jurisdiction of that court were more or less in this situation, which is to say, they had done their bit. The problem is that Mr. Imran Khan faces court cases, many other court cases. Some say it could be as high as 150 court cases still pending against him. I mean, the number ranges between 100 and 150. He's already been sentenced in 4 or 5 cases and been sentenced to prison terms ranging from anything between 4 and 10 years. So really, his release is, I don't think, something that we can expect anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at case after case after case, as you mentioned. What are some of the most serious sort of charges that he might be facing down the line beyond this sort of illegal sale of goods that he has?
Well, obviously, the most serious charge against him is, or are charges that relate to him inciting violence against the military. And those charges are extremely serious. And there has been talk, of course, resisted so far, of Mr. Khan facing trial, possibly, in a military court. We're not there yet, but that would be obviously the gravest offence. If he was to be found guilty.
Yes, and I mentioned earlier that his party supporters, the PTI, they're gearing up for a mass protest this weekend. What are we expecting from this demonstration? How big do you expect it to be?
Well, Mr. Imran Khan, of course, has described this planned protest as a do-or-die protest, what he calls a final call. Every party leader has been instructed to bring with him thousands, to stage sit-in and protest in the capital, Islamabad. Mr. Imran Khan's wife, who was recently released from prison, has warned some PTI MPs that, if they do not participate in this protest, then they cannot be guaranteed a party ticket for the next elections. So clearly, they're trying to sort of mobilize as much support in favor of this protest. But of course, for its part, the government has also taken additional measures, and the capital, Islamabad, is at the moment, a capital under siege with thousands of troops across the city, with huge containers having been deployed to block access to key areas. So we'll just have to wait and see. It could be a major showdown. On the other hand, it could be something that turned out simply to fizzle out in the end.
Yeah, I'm curious to get your thoughts about one thing, Farzana. Do you believe, given the visibly public support that he's got, but do you believe if an election was held soon, and we're not expecting that to happen, do you believe that Imran Khan's PTI would win government?
Well, I think it's fair to say that Mr. Imran Khan's party today, if elections were to be held, would sweep the polls. There's no question that his party is and remains the most popular party. And this really poses a dilemma to Pakistan's military establishment. And what we've got here is a political stalemate that is actually exacting a huge toll on the country, not least on its economy, which is in dire straits.
And just a final question, Farzana. Now, Pakistan's parliament has also approved new laws relating to the country's judiciary, which have been condemned by human rights groups, and they say that Pakistan is leading towards becoming more authoritarian. What are these changes? Can you explain to us?
Well, essentially, what these changes do is bring the judiciary under executive control, and several measures were taken to that effect on the 20th of October. Hugely controversial reforms, partly because, of course, they were pushed through in haste, and apparently a number of MPs were intimidated. There was also talk of abductions, etc. The government, for its part, of course, feels that these reforms were necessary to curb a judiciary that had lost its way through acts of what it calls judicial activism or judicial overreach and interference in public policy. On the other hand, I think it's also fair to say that the problem here is really that because the credibility of the elected parliament is constantly in question, to have, as it were, parliamentary oversight over the judiciary then becomes extremely questionable.
Of course, lots to look at, and even in the short term to see what happens with those mass protests on Sunday. But Farzana Shaikh, really good to get your analysis as always. Thanks so much.
Thank you.